What is the worst fight song? Okay, but actually though. Normally I try not to dive into worst music ever discourse. Started thinking about this after some discourse on the internet. Some folks were saying that the worst song ever was Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. No. This is not a serious topic by any means, but I refuse to let foolishness like this persist. It's not funny anymore, try different jokes. K-Dot. No way in hell is Home the worst song ever. It's not even the worst song of that era of stomp clap music. But the discussion did get me thinking about the idea of the worst song ever. This is not gonna be me trying to determine what the worst song of all time is. I'm not asking what is the worst song ever, but rather, why is the worst song ever? Initially, I asked my Patreon community for their personal worst song ever, and with their selections, we came up with some general characteristics of the worst song ever. These characteristics are ranked in order of their severity, from mild annoyance to war crime. And the last one was the most unexpected. The worst song ever is Overplayed. Hello. If you were re-traumatized by that one bit of music because of your time working in retail, you may be eligible for financial compensation. This is a huge one for so many people. The worst songs are the ones that are played in every conceivable place. They are inescapable, like taxes or the job application in my dreams. However, there are 3 things that keep Overplay from being a bigger deal in my view. 1, I don't think Overplay makes a song intrinsically bad. Even the best songs can be ruined if they're played on loop endlessly. I love the sax lick in Carly Rae Jepsen's seminal pop classic, Run Away With Me, but if I were to listen to it multiple times every single day, would I get sick of it? Yeah. No. The second thing, it's easier than ever to escape popular songs. I'm not about to be one of those back in my day guys, so instead I'll say, front out your night. Hit songs were way harder to avoid, whether it was radio, TV appearances, commercials, even parodies in the early days of YouTube. The big songs of the day would make it to your ears somehow. These days though, if you don't want to hear a song, it's definitely easier to escape its clutches. Streaming has allowed folks to find their perfect musical niche and stay in it. So unless you're in a position to hear mainstream music non-stop, like retail or grocery stores, you should be okay. And third thing, time heals all wounds. With enough time and space, many songs can be freed of the Overplay curse. My teens were consumed by the party synth pop boom of the early 2010s, and let me tell you, people at the time hated those songs, in part because they were dumb, but also because they were everywhere. But now, it's much easier to look back and say, oh, Pitbull actually made some good songs at his peak, or Swagger Jagger actually did figuratively stab me in the ears. The worst song ever is Generic. Serene, isn't it? A blank canvas. You can think up anything you want. Imagine, if you will, dragons. While Overplay fatigue can fade with time, we now come across an aspect of bad songs that's a bit more constant, lacking in any aspects. What is Generic? The next spin-off series of The Boys? Maybe. It turns out Generic can be 2 things, either having no discernible traits to form an identity, or having so many traits of other things that there's no identity to be found. Like Overplay, I'm considering Generic to be a lesser sin because it really is in the eye of the beholder, or in this case, the ear of the listener. Alex Warren's Ordinary may be described as generic by some, but it is also currently the #1 song in the country. Oh, look at that. I'm not saying that invalidates the people who dislike it. I spent a good chunk of my most recent video poking fun at it. I'm saying there must be a good chunk of people who connect with the song, even when there are so many others who call it generic. Closer by the Chainsmokers is another example. Do people consider it generic? Yes. Was it one of the biggest hits of the 2010s? Yes. Again, not saying it's impervious to criticism just because it was big. It's just worth noting that generic gets labeled onto songs that a lot of people like, and maybe therein lies the rub for any song that is made to become a hit. The ultimate goal of any pop song is to get inside your head, and if it has to absorb so many different elements to appeal to as many people as possible, so be it. Though I guess it could also stand out by being the worst song ever is annoying. You know what's amazing? You and I are different people, separated by different appearances, backgrounds, cultures, interests, locations. And yet we are probably thinking of the same song.
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh.
Some songs just grate on your ears. Dance Monkey, Cars for Kids, Baby Shark. There is something about these songs, either their melodies or how they're sung, that allows them to burn into your skull without your consent. Is anyone from November 2024? No, I'm from upstate New York. Someone in my Patreon brought up this idea. It's like your brain is betraying your ears. These songs are undeniably catchy. They would have to be in order for them to get in your head without your written permission. And it's that dichotomy that can mess with us. The worst song ever is Cringe. Now we've got to set up a boundary here. Annoying and Cringe are like step-headed siblings. They look very similar, but there's a subtle yet important difference. I think when people call a song annoying, they're talking about the music itself. Tones' singing on Dance Monkey is annoying. The Cars for Kids melody is annoying. But when someone calls a song cringe, it's more about how the song or the artist are placed into a cultural context. Mike Love rapping on Beach Boys' Summer of Love is not annoying. It is, however, very cringe. There's Katy Perry calling Taylor Swift an old coupon expired on Swish Swish, AJR singing about Thirsty Thirsty Thursday, anytime someone interpolates a children's nursery rhyme. In isolation, these things might not grate on you musically, but they will make you ask why the artist would ever put them in a recording in the first place. And you know what? Let's go one step further. The worst song ever is offensive. There's Hobson's Happy Ending, and from that title, you might already have an idea of how it would be offensive, but I promise you, it's worse. There's The Hard Part 6, Drake blatantly fumbling every possible comeback after Kendrick Lamar's Meet the Grams, especially the part where he misrepresented the song Mother I Sober.
That's that one record where you say you got molested.
As Kendrick admitting he was abused as a kid, and not Kendrick recognizing the lingering effects of abuse in his mother and his community at large. You know you've messed up when the only correct thing you say in your whole song is that B sharp is a note. I'm gonna die on this hill just because it's enharmonic to C natural doesn't mean it's the same note. There's Blurred Lines. You hate it for its misogynist undertones. I hate it for reshaping music copyright for years to come, and also its misogynist undertones. I guess we kinda are the same. There's also a specific category within this category. Songs that are intentionally offensive or antagonistic. I'm thinking of songs like Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town, or Tom MacDonald and Ben Shapiro's Facts. Those songs want to piss you off, and their fans want to piss you off by listening to them. That strategy is surprisingly effective if you want a high spot on the Hot 100 in the short term, but it's pretty terrible for long-term enjoyment. Who is still listening to Facts in 2025? Who cares about this song now? Who's gonna care about it in a few years? No one is gonna be like, my dad and I would always go down to the river and just hang out fishing, and this was the song that we'd play every time. The worst song ever is backed by science. Most of these songs I've mentioned are cases where someone set out to make a good song and did not succeed. But what if someone tried to make the worst song ever? In 1997, artists Komar and Melamid, plus composer Dave Soldier, polled the public on what they did and did not enjoy in music. And with that data, they created the most wanted song and the most unwanted song. The latter is 21 minutes long. If you listen to the whole thing, let me know where you tap out. For me, it was when the rapping opera singer came in. So that's it. This is scientifically the worst song ever, right? I don't think so. I mean, it's goofy for sure. I would not ever play this for pleasure, but I did get a kick out of parts of it. Like when the kids choir says, in fact, get this. I think the most wanted song is worse. Yeah, it has elements people like in music, but it's not remarkable in any way. It's just a basic 80s slow jam. The other contenders for worst song ever were not trying to be the worst song ever. And in a weird, paradoxical way, that made them feel more genuine. Either the songs themselves or what the public then did with them. Apologies for just saying this part out loud, but they were more fun to talk about. Which reveals the least discussed but arguably most important quality. The worst song ever is fun to talk about. I mean, if we're talking about the worst song ever, I could always bring up the national anthem of Nazi Germany, because, you know, it represents genocide and war crimes.
Are we having fun yet?
There are other songs that, if we were to come at this rationally, would be the worst ever, but music is like tax evasion. It's not about the rationale, it's about how it makes you feel. All of the songs mentioned here have managed to make us feel something. They've stayed with us for years. Sure, probably not in the way the artists intended, and the songs that stuck out by being offensive are bad, and they suck, and they do not deserve this backhanded praise, but staying in people's heads for any length of time is an accomplishment. So, what if we've been thinking about this all wrong? The worst song ever isn't one that we all remember and enjoy talking about. The real worst song of all time is the one that no one can remember. Or its fight song. I really don't care for that song. But I want to hear from you now. What do you think is the worst song ever? And why do you think that? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, check out this one where I ranked 2025's songs of the summer.